An interesting trip that I had in the past was when I visited Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. It was my first time traveling to the north of Vietnam. I was very curious and excited about what I would see and experience there. Hanoi is a vibrant and dynamic city with a rich culture and history that blends influences from China, France, and other neighboring countries. It has many attractions such as Old Quarter, Hoàn Kim Lake, and Temple of Literature, and Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. One of the most memorable moments of my trip was when I joined the street food tour with a local tour guide. He took me to various places where I could taste the authentic and delicious cuisine in Hanoi, such as phở, bún chả, bánh mì, and egg coffee. He also explained to me the history and story behind each dish and how they reflect the identity and diversity of Hanoi people. I enjoy trying new flavors and learning more about the food culture of Vietnam. This trip was very enjoyable and educational because it gives me a chance to explore a different and fascinating part of Vietnam. And I learned a lot about history, culture, and society of Hanoi. I was impressed by its charm and energy. I also met some friends and helpful locals who made me feel welcome and comfortable. It was a trip that broadened my horizons and enriched my knowledge. Well, one of the most interesting trips I had in the past was when I visited Sapa, a mountainous town in the north of Vietnam. Sapa is famous for its beautiful scenery, diverse ethnic groups, and rich culture. I went there with a group of friends during the winter when the weather was cold and foggy, but also very romantic. One of the highlights of the trip was when we trekked to a remote village called Tavern, and where we stayed at a homestay with a local family. The family belonged to Hmong minority, one of many ethnic groups that live in Sapa. They were very hospitable and friendly. They showed us their traditional way of life, and we helped them with some farm work, such as planting rice and vegetables, feeding animals, and making handicrafts. We also learned some words and phrases in their language, which is very different from Vietnamese. I loved this trip because it was not only adventurous and fun, but also meaningful and eye-opening. I gained a lot of insight into their culture and history of the people in Sapa, and I felt a deep respect and admiration for their resilience and harmony. And I also made some new friends both from my group and from the community. So it was a trip that I will always remember. One of the most interesting trips I had in the past was when I visited Nha Trang, a coastal city of Vietnam. Nha Trang is famous for its beautiful beaches, islands and coral reefs. It is a popular destination for tourists who want to enjoy the sun, the sea, and the seafood. I visited Nha Trang last summer with my family, and we stayed at a hotel near the beach and enjoyed the view of the ocean every morning. We also booked a boat tour to some nearby island where we saw different kinds of fish and coral. The water was so clear and blue that we could see everything under the surface. And the most memorable part of the trips was when we visited a fishing village on one of the islands. There, we met some local fishermen who taught us how to catch fish with their nets. They were very friendly and hospitable, and we invited us to join them for lunch. We ate some freshest and tastiest fish that I have had, cooked in a simple but delicious way. I really enjoyed this trip because it was not only fun and relaxing, but also educational and cultural, because I learned a lot about the life and the culture of people in Nha Trang, and I appreciated their kindness and generosity. I also admired their connection with the nature and their respect for the environment. It was a trip that I will never forget.